Good morning, podcasters. Facebook pages or groups? Which one is best for your show in 2023? Hello and welcome to Good Morning Podcasters. I am your host, Fuzz Martin, and each week I bring you 3 episodes of this show, guiding you through marketing, advertising, PR, and social media topics, and how they can help you promote your podcast. Was having a conversation and someone asked about Facebook marketing and community building here in 2023 and whether it's best for them to start a brand page for their podcast or start a Facebook group instead for their podcast. And my answer to them and my answer to you is both. Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you on Friday. No, here are my 2 thoughts on this. 1, a Facebook page, or some call a brand page, is what you're going to use if you're going to do any Facebook advertising. Number 2, a Facebook group is where you're going to be able to grow and foster a community. Let's talk about Facebook pages first. Since 3 billion people use Meta products, you probably already know this, but I'm going to break it down at a 101 level in case you're unfamiliar with some of the nomenclature. A Facebook page acts kind of like your personal Facebook profile page, but for your show. So you can use it to promote your show. You can share reels, which are the hottest piece of content on Facebook right now. You can also share images, text, videos, etc. You can have multiple admins. So if 2 or more of you host a show, or maybe you have a producer or some sort of similar setup, maybe you're paying somebody to help you, you can add them to your page. I suggest using Facebook's Meta Business Manager, and then you can split the workload. You also need a Facebook page if you plan on advertising your show on Facebook. So you can put out posts organically and then sponsor those posts to a targeted audience. There's also the option to boost posts, but I recommend sponsored posts. You can use Ads Manager and create highly targeted campaigns with multiple different styles of creative, multiple different goals if you want to increase traffic to your website or increase the follower count on your Facebook page or drive lead gen ads to get people to fill out a form and subscribe to your newsletter. It really has a ton of different ways to target potential listeners and serve them different types of ads. However, on the organic side of things, so the non-paid side of Facebook pages have really fallen out of favor. They tend to not get the juice that they used to get in the newsfeed algorithm. And if you think about it, people these days might like a brand like Red Bull, but we as the human race have kind of outgrown the interacting with a brand is cool kind of stage of our social media journey. Also, Facebook is a business and they want to get paid, right? So requiring a brand like your podcast to pay to get in front of the audience that they've developed only makes sense. From that, I would say that you want a Facebook page, but you don't need to be updating it more than a couple times a week unless you're running an aggressive advertising campaign. If you are running a whole bunch of ads and spending money on that, I recommend that you're on there updating your page a couple times a week at least so that people know you're active and they want to be involved with that. Please note that this opinion I'm giving you is only geared toward podcasts. If you're running a different kind of business and you somehow stumbled onto this episode, I have different thoughts for you, and they all depend on the kind of business that you're in and what your audience type looks like. Oh, and speaking of Facebook pages, you can also use them to drive your followers on that page to your Facebook group, which leads us to Facebook groups. Groups are either closed, private, or open, public communities that have members. It's a place where you can have conversations about episodes, interact with listeners, give updates on things that happened on the show, pin important content. They've got some different stylistic things you can do within a group. And it also gives you moderation tools that you can use if somebody's getting out of line or if you want to, boost up people who are doing great things. All around, a group is a good place to interact and respond with your community of listeners. Groups also do much better with the Facebook algorithm, at least here in the year of our Lord 2023. I like the idea of a Facebook group over a community app like Discord because not everyone will download and learn a different app. And depending on your audience's age, They may already be on Facebook, but again, it depends on your show and your audience. Of course, as with any advice that I share on this show, it all depends on your podcast, your audience, your goals, your preference. I'm just sharing with you what I know. For instance, I can think of 100 different use cases where Discord would be more important to you than a Facebook group. But again, we're just talking Facebook today. Now, you can use a Facebook page to promote your Facebook group, both organically and through paid ads. This is the main reason I suggested that you have both. Like a group of people who like House of the Dragon, Hot D, The Mandalorian, or The Last of Us, your listeners are a potential community. A Facebook group is a good way to foster that community and grow affinity for your show and boost listenership. A Facebook page is a good way to get them there. But all of these things, every single one that I've talked about, takes time. So before you jump in and start either, make sure it's going to be the right fit for you, your show, and your schedule. There's nothing worse than starting something that you're not going to be able to follow through with, both for you and your listeners. Thanks for listening to Good Morning Podcasters. You can ask me questions at any time by emailing me, fuzz@goodmorningpod.com. That is fuzz, F-U-Z-Z, at goodmorningpod.com. You can also DM me on Twitter at GMPodcasters. All of the episodes of this show are available at goodmorningpod.com, and I will talk to you on Friday, right here on Good Morning Podcasters.